So, you want to become a millionaire in your 20s? Well, these are the 5 lessons that, when implemented, will not only put you on the path towards becoming a millionaire, but also allow you to level up as a person. You see, it's one thing to become rich later in life, but becoming rich in your teens and even 20s will unlock a level to life that you didn't even know existed. And that's not simply because of the money, but because of the person you need to become to earn that money. I mean, take it from me. I made my first $1 million in profit at the age of 18. And honestly, the biggest lesson I've learned in the last few years is that there are truly a million ways to make $1 million. And that is why the first lesson is don't be afraid to try making money in different ways. Now, I told you that there are a million ways to make $1 million, and that is true, but it's not the whole truth. You see, about 999,000 of those are unnecessarily difficult, maybe even more than that. Yet, there are more than enough ways to make money that, although may not be easy, are very, very, very simple. Now, I've made millions of dollars through half a dozen ways, and having been in the space for 10 years now, I've seen so many different things work for different people. One of the biggest mistakes people make is trying to force their way with one money-making method. And that's not to say that you don't need consistency and tenacity when it comes to making money, but you sometimes also need to realize that not every method will work for every person. And sometimes it's better to simply figure out what works best for you rather than keep hitting your head against the wall trying to do a method that maybe works for someone else. And that's why I keep saying, don't be afraid to make money in many different ways. Try different things, acquire different skills, and eventually put many different skills together. Why do you think I keep telling you just to put one foot forward in front of the other? It's because at your stage, you need to always be doing and always be learning. And before being able to earn your first $1 million, you need to earn your first $100,000. And before your first $100,000, you need to earn your first $10,000. And earning your first $10,000 all starts with earning your first $1,000 online. And if you thought there were many ways to make $1 million, there are even more ways to make 1,000. And that's why I've distilled it to its most basic element. So much so that I've set out to prove that anyone can make their first $1,000 online with this system. And to prove exactly that, I've launched Digital Launchpad. For just $37 a month or 74 cents per day if you go for the yearly plan and get a 40% discount, you will get access to everything you need to make your first $1,000. You're immediately gonna have 3 different pathways taught by 3 different experts. And you're also gonna unlock an extra 4 bonus programs. And additionally, for the rest of this year, we are launching 1 additional program every single month that's gonna teach you either how to make money online, network better, train better, dress better, invest better. As I said, for only 74 cents a day if you go for the yearly plan. This is the best way to make money online, bar none. So for the price of lunch every single month, you can get access to the most fail-proof protocol when it comes to making money online. And when I say anyone can make money with this, I mean anyone, because that's exactly what 20,000 students who have joined this year have proved. So now that you've learned the first lesson, which is there are a million ways to make $1 million, the next lesson you need to internalize if you want to become a millionaire in your 20s is that you don't actually have business problems. You have personal problems manifesting in your business. And let me explain what I mean. You see, a lot of the times, especially earlier on in your career, people struggle to get to the next level. And when they struggle, they look for reasons, except there aren't really any reasons. They're just scapegoats. Oh, the business model doesn't scale. Oh, my niche doesn't work. Oh, there just aren't any good products. Whatever they say the problem is, it usually isn't. Instead, the problem is much more deep-rooted because the problem is with themselves. And I know what that's like because I had this in the beginning. You know, it's funny, when I was first getting started in business, I thought that my young age had something to do with the fact that I was struggling. And then I had to have a very sobering conversation with myself and realize that it wasn't my age. That was just an excuse I was making. It was the fact that I did not understand my market well enough. I did not understand how to put together a good offer. So whether that be a good service or a good product, at the time I had a service-based business. And it's so funny because one day I woke up and I decided I am going to take full fucking responsibility for everything that's happening in my life. And when that happened, 90 days later, I was making $15,000 a month profit at the age of 17. It's very funny how that works, isn't it? Because 90 days prior, I thought it was all my age, but 90 days later, it seemed like it was no problem at all. It's not like all of a sudden I grew that much, you know, my face aged, nothing. No, it was all in my head. It was simply a personal problem or a personal belief or a personal worldview that was manifesting in the business. And that's why I knew I had to change my own ways in order to progress in my business. And that was just one example. There was many other examples. I knew I had to change my own ways in order to progress in my business. And so I'll give you a few more examples to illustrate this point. For one, I knew I wouldn't be able to focus as well if my phone was on the desk next to me. So that's why from the age of 17 until 21, I did not check my phone for the first 4 to 5 hours a day. And in order to make sure I didn't slip up, I would actually put my phone in a vault I had in my house. And then I would have a second burner phone that only had essentials like Audible and Spotify or Uber on there. And in the same way, I knew that I focused better and felt better if I worked out first thing in the morning. In fact, my health had such a profound impact on my business that there was a direct correlation between the months I was on top of my fitness and diet and the months that I made the most money. So obvious, but sometimes you don't see it in the moment. And that's why I had to create systems that made sure I was always on top of my game. Because if I didn't, then my non-business habits would begin to affect my business. So the lesson to be drawn from this is simply to evaluate your life. Once you've evaluated your life, be honest with yourself. Identify all the bad habits. Identify all the things that hold you back. And this is especially important in the beginning of your career. Because as I said, making money at that stage is just as much about the things you actively do as it is about the things that you don't do. So that means that you need to make sure that your inner state is allowing you to succeed. So make sure that your personal problems don't manifest in your business. Now, the next lesson you need to internalize is that you won't invest your way to riches. Now, I know that when I say that, all of the finance gurus will come after me, but here's the deal. I am not saying you shouldn't invest. You absolutely should. I started investing from a young age and I'm very happy I built those habits. My only regrets is that I didn't start investing sooner. But when you only have a few $1,000s to your name, investing won't do anything for you. I mean, let's just simply break down the math.